No dinner tonight. We're gonna see what it does with my blood sugar. Hello everybody, Leia here. So this was intended to be a video where I changed my sensor. However, I went to Walgreens twice today and they were having some issues. I called them, they were still having issues. I still have to take this thing off. And so I figured that I would take this off and then talk a little bit about my diabetes. So, if you don't know, hi, my name is Leia. I have type 2 diabetes. I was diagnosed with diabetes in late September of 2021, and since then I've trialed multiple different treatments. We tried metformin only, we tried metformin and long-acting insulin, which was kind of the golden combo for a while. It worked really, really well, but then we realized that it was not just a coincidence that my stomach problems kind of started becoming very bad around the time that I had my metformin, and were really bad whenever I was taking my metformin faithfully. So we got off of metformin. I was on NPH, which is called Novolin. It's a Walmart brand of insulin. It's $42 for 5 pens. And, well, I didn't do very well. It didn't go very well for Leia, let's just say that way. I ended up in the emergency room multiple times, and since then, it's been a little bit of a struggle. I was put on to glipizide, which is an insulin pill that it tells your pancreas to release insulin, and that worked, but not well enough, and so now I am on a new treatment that I just started today, and it is doing both short and long-acting insulin. So, in addition to taking off my patch, it's been 3 hours since I took my last dose of insulin, so I can take more insulin now. So I'm going to check my sugar and see if I'm over 300, which I think I am, and if so, I'm going to take more insulin. First of all, I guess I want to explain, these are the two insulins that I take. This is my once-a-day nightly insulin, and this is my mealtime insulin. They are very different colors, as you can see. They look completely different. Even when you take the caps off, they look completely different. There's no way that you're mistaking these two. And of course that's good, because I'm pretty sure that if I only took 10 units of this, it would not go well. And I'm pretty sure that if I took 60 units of this on accident, I would die. I would also run out, but dying would happen first. So there's many different ways to do short-acting insulin. One way to do short-acting insulin is called a carb ratio, which is where you have to calculate your meals, and you calculate your carbs, and then you take the number of carbs multiplied by whatever your insulin carb ratio is, and that's how many units. So, for example, I know someone that their carb ratio is 1:7, so that means that for every 7 grams of carbs, they need 1 unit of insulin. So, for example, if they have 42 units of carbs in a meal, which is right about the correct amount of carbs you should be having in a meal, then they would need to take 6 units of insulin. I'm not doing that. I am doing what's called a sliding scale, and a sliding scale is where you take your blood sugar before you eat, and then you look and you say, okay, where is my blood sugar, and where am I supposed to give? So, let's see, I'm going to try to cover this up with my address. So I have these instructions. that kind of say what to do. So Specifically, I'm not supposed to take any if I'm below 150. But if I'm above 150, then I take 150 to 199, 2 to 249, I take 4. Going up at 2 units every 50 units of blood sugar until I get to 350. 350 or above is 10. And if my blood sugar is at higher than 10, 350 is 10. And if I get up to 400, I'm supposed to call my doctor. Now, I know that this is a new treatment, so I'm probably not going to call today. Just because I want to get to where I am down to below 400 before I start making phone calls. Or I'll call on Monday if I continue to be high. I was so high that my meter was unreadable earlier. I think that might happen again because I ate. First things first, though, I'm going to take this thing off. So, if you've never seen one of these, this patch is not actually part of it. It's a little bit dirty. It's got some, I don't even know on it, but this patch just covers up the little thing. So I'm going to slowly take the patch off. Oh, I guess I need to do that slowly. So there we go. So this is just a patch that I get a pack of 10 at Walgreens like this, and I change them every like 3 to 4-ish days. I need to buy a new box because I think I only have about a week and a half, 2 weeks left. So now I'm going to take the sensor off. Fun fact, I have never had a sensor last this long before. I didn't used to use these because I didn't think that I would ever be able to get used to them on my skin. And so my sensors would come off. And then the very last sensor that I did, I wanted to give my skin some breathing room. So I was going to re-put on the patch in 4 hours, but after 2 hours I hit it and it tore off. So this is going to be the first time that I'm taking this off on purpose, and I don't know how this thing is so hard to come off. Okay, here we go, and alright, it's off. And I've got a little spot on my arm where it came from. And then if you're wanting to know what these look like, warning for needles. Although this isn't really a needle, it's a little wire. It's a little flexible wire that goes into my skin. And then I'm just going to pop that in the sharps container because it has blood on it. Now, I am going to clean my hands and take my blood sugar. So yep, it is still reading high, which means I need to do 10 units of insulin, and I may actually, in fact, call the doctor. I'm just going to grab an alcohol swab. Well, I should probably use 2. One for the top and one for my skin. Sorry about that little reflex. I'm going to give it in my stomach so you're not going to see it on camera. But I'm going to clean the skin. And then, in case you're wondering, both of my insulins are from the same, like I said, they're from the same manufacturer. They're from Eli Lilly. Basically, we use Eli Lilly because, well, that's what my doctor prescribed, but also they have a coupon on their website to where the insulins are only $35 for a month's supply when you have insurance. And that's very helpful because my one insulin used to be more than what both of the insulins are together now. And then, if you're wondering what I use for needles, I actually use the standard Walmart brand needles. These are 32 gauge and these are 4 millimeters, so they're very short. I just use them because I think that they work best. And they're very cheap. They're $9 for 50. And especially because I inject 4 times a day, an entire box is going to last me like 2 weeks. Let's see. Take the cap off. Cap on the sharps container. Okay. Warning for needles. I'm just going to show you this. So, I'm just going to check to make sure that it's flowing. And then I'm going to dial to 10. I don't know if you can see that, but I dial to 10. And I'm going to give myself a shot. there we go. That is how I give myself my insulin, and then I take the needle off, and I put the needle in my sharps container. I keep my sharps container. I have like an entire medical bin on my bed, like on my bedside table, and then I keep my sharps container on the next shelf because it's so tall. Now I'm going to recap this. I'm going to put them back into the bag just because I think it's going to be really helpful, not just to have them together, because I mean they're going to be together on my shelf anyway, but to have my instructions here, because even though I'm sure that I will have it memorized very quickly, I think it's good to keep it with the instructions. So there they are. They're in the same bag. And yes, this bag does say refrigerate, but you don't have to refrigerate the 2 pins that you're working on. You only have to refrigerate the pins that you're not using. So I have my backups of my short-acting and my long-acting insulin. They are in the fridge. And yeah, I'm trying to think what else you guys might be interested in hearing about. Overall, I think that the CGM is going well. I think that it's very helpful for me to be able to just look. For a little while, I was really obsessive about my sugars. I'd either be obsessive, checking over and over and over again all day, every day, or like intentionally avoiding them, which interestingly enough is actually a symptom of obsession. So intentionally avoiding something, not to obsess about it, is still obsessing about it. That's what I've learned from my therapist. So I do have problems with obsessing over it. Lately it hasn't been so bad because I just know that my blood sugar numbers are bad. I know that my phone will send me an alert when I get over 400. I just know that it's not good. I'm going to be interested to see what happens once my sugars get back into a normal range. And, you know, am I still obsessive about it then when they're in a normal range? Or am I able to be more normal and calm and relaxed about it? I think that having the sliding scale insulin instead of having my insulin be, based on carbs, I think is also going to help with not being obsessed about it. So not only is sliding scale easier because you just have to prick your finger and do the math that way instead of having to calculate your carbs in your meal, I also think it's going to be easier because I'm not going to be tracking my food. I'm not going to be obsessing about what I'm eating. So yeah, guys, that's what I had for this video. Kind of I hope a little fun educational video about diabetes for you guys. Hoping I can edit it and get it up tomorrow. So I will see you guys next weekend. Bye, guys. Okay, guys, let's consider this an addendum to what I already filmed. If the lighting looks off, it's because I didn't want to set up my tripod again with the light. I mean, I could, but I just don't know how much it's going to add. So, what I'm going to do is, I just got off the phone with my doctor. She said that because my blood sugar is still super high. Now, this is like 3 hours later. Because my blood sugar is still super high, I need to give myself 15 units of insulin and monitor myself hourly for the next 2 hours. So I'm going to take my sugar again just to make sure that it is still in the high range. It was before I called my doctor, but I just want to make sure so that we have something to go off of. And it looks like it is finally giving us a reading. 529. So I'm going to go ahead and take the 15 units of insulin and see if that brings it down anymore, because that's what my doctor told me to do, was to take 15 units of insulin and to skip dinner tonight. So that's what we're going to be doing. So this will be my 3rd insulin shot of the day. Oh geez. And in case anyone's wondering, no, I don't like this. I hate it. I hate that I'm constantly having to do all of this stuff just to keep my body from, like, dying. It's a pain in the butt. So we got it cleaned and put a pin needle on. And then I gotta I think I'll try right here. Normally I do them in my stomach, but I've done so many in my stomach today already. And now to dial 15. I didn't prime the needle. It's okay. It is what it is. There we go. And now we're going to see what that does. I'm going to check it again at 1 hour and at 2 hours. And then I will call them back and tell them what's going on. I think that's what you said. So, no dinner tonight. We're going to see what it does with my blood sugar. So this is not the only change. This is just right now a treatment for high blood sugar. The other change is the sliding scale that I told you earlier is incorrect. So that was the plan, but now the plan is going to be to do 10 plus the sliding scale. So I will, no matter what I eat, I will be having 10 units of insulin, and then based on whatever my blood sugar is when I check it, that's how many extra units. So if I'm lower than 150, then I'm not going to be taking any units of insulin. It was that I wouldn't take any, but now I'm going to take 10. If I'm between 150 and 159, I'm going to take 12, etc., going up to 20 units, which potentially doubling the maximum amount of insulin that I take in a day. That's not good. But, you know, it's what I have to do, unfortunately. So yeah, I guess I'm going to add this to the video, and I will see you guys again in 2 hours. Hey guys, so this is going to be the last clip of the video. Man, I will say, I did not anticipate this turning into like a day in the life of diabetes video. So, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to check my blood sugar, and I'm going to administer one last correction for the night. If it's above 300, or even if it's close to 300, I think if it's close to 300, I'll do the 250, like, I'll do the correction, and then I also have to do my long-acting insulin. So let me start by checking my sugar. So yeah, it is just a tad bit under 350, which was to be expected. So I guess I haven't talked to you guys for like 2 hours, so it was, so when I took it, I think when I saw you guys last time, it was like 546, which is still concerning. And then I did 15 units of insulin. Took it an hour later, it was down to 436. Took it an hour later, it was down to 389. And then I called the doctor back, and she told me that in an hour, which is right now, to take it again, and then do a shot if it was over 300, which it is. So I'm going to do the shot level for 346, so I'm going to do that first. Let me grab my 2 needles, because I have 2 shots tonight. So, read the bag. Alright, that's going to be 8 units. This is going to be a lot of giving myself shots in this video. Sorry, guys. Nope. What am I doing? Okay. 8. I wanted to spin it like it was a regular injection. Oh, what am I doing? I haven't cleaned my skin yet. This is probably not perfect protocol, guys. Just warning you. I think especially today because I've been so brain fogged from having high blood sugar. I think I am going to take my meter with me. Oh, I already primed it. Okay, it's 8. I'm going to be going out tonight, and I think I'm going to be taking my meter with me just to see what happens in 3 hours. So at around midnight, I'll probably sneak off if I'm still out. And I will check and see what happened. Okay, so that's that shot done. And now it's time for the long-acting insulin. This one is a much bigger dose. We're gonna see what happens tonight. So, and in case you're wondering, anytime I'm over 300, I can do a correction to get myself back down to where it should be, but not if I'm under 300. Alright guys, thank you so much for joining me on this video. It's been a little bit of a wild ride, but this is what life is like with diabetes. And apparently this is what life is like when you are having really bad hyperglycemia. You're not controlled well because you can't be on certain medications. So this is this is just what my life is going to be like from now on. Well, hopefully it's not going to include, you know, having to take emergency correction doses because I'm over 300. Because it's one of those things that if I'm over 400, I'm supposed to call the doctor. So I'm supposed to take 10 units and call the doctor if I'm over 400. And so hopefully I don't have any more emergencies. Hopefully this is a good regimen for me. I guess we'll find out tomorrow. Alright, bye guys.